What's going on, everybody? Kalipis Tech here, coming back at you with another video. This is the beginner's guide to the Motorola Moto G 5G. In this video, I'm going to be showing you some tips and tricks for this phone to help you get more familiar with it. Now, if you want to learn more about the device itself, be sure to check out my full review of it on the channel. And for the latest up-to-date pricing, I will be linking to this phone in the video description because this is always changing. But with that being said, let's get started. So the first thing I want to show you is how you can customize your notifications. Notifications, of course, can be really important, but if you have a bunch of different apps, they tend to send you a bunch of things you might not necessarily need. And not only can that be annoying, but if you're getting a bunch of different notifications you don't need from all your different apps, it could make it a lot easier to miss something important. So I'm going to show you how to turn off notifications you don't want. So the first thing we're going to do is go to Settings. From here, go to Notifications. From this menu, go to App Settings. And this section is going to show you all the apps that have recently sent you a notification. So as you can see, I personally don't have very many, but if you have, for example, a bunch of games and stuff like that, pretty much anything is going to show up here. And if you decide you don't want notifications from a certain app, you can simply toggle it off and it won't send you any more. Now back in the main notification menu, there are a couple other things I want to show you. First of all, if we go down a little, you're going to see something called Do Not Disturb. Now, in case you're new to smartphones and don't know exactly what this does, basically it's going to put your phone in a silent mode where you're not going to get any notifications from anything. This can be really useful if you're, for example, in a meeting, or maybe you're at a movie or something like that. Whatever the case may be, Do Not Disturb can be really useful in those situations. So as you can see, you can turn this feature on from this menu, but an easier way to do it is by pulling down the shade. And Do Not Disturb is right here. Simply tap the icon. And as you can see, Do Not Disturb is now on, as you can see by this little icon right here in the status bar. And of course, to turn it back off, hit the button one more time, and we're back to normal. Now we're going to take a look at a few things on the sound menu. So to get to the sound menu, we're going to go to Settings, and from here, go to Sound and Vibration. So as you can see, we got several different volumes here. First one is media volume. So when you're doing something like watching a video, listening to music, pretty much anything like that, that's what media volume is going to be. Call volume, so when you're on the phone. Ring volume, this is of course your ringtone. Notification volume, this is going to be stuff like your text messages, notifications from apps, that sort of thing. And finally, alarm volume, again, pretty self-explanatory. So you can control all this from the sound menu. Underneath this, we got yet another place where you can activate Do Not Disturb. Again, the most quick and convenient way to toggle this feature on and off is simply by pulling down the shade. And the button is right there, so much easier than going to the menu. But if you happen to be on this menu, you always can turn it on and off from here. From here, you can change your ringtone. So as you can see, this is the default. You can also add a custom ringtone. And if you go down a little more, you can do the same thing for your notification sound. And then at the very bottom, we got a bunch of sounds we can turn on and off. As you can see, all of them except touch sounds are on by default, but if you want, you can always turn them off. So we got dial pad tones, outgoing call vibration, screen locking sound, charging sounds and vibration, so when you plug in your phone, touch sounds, so if you want those enabled, you can turn them on, touch vibration, power on sounds. So definitely play around with it and figure out for yourself which ones you want on and which ones you don't. Now the next thing I'm going to show you is how to change your wallpaper. To do this, it's pretty simple. What you're going to do is go to Settings, and from here, simply go to Wallpaper. So as you can see, we got a few different options here. You can choose from live wallpapers, whatever is in your photos, or preset wallpapers. Now changing your wallpaper from the settings is easy enough, but there's also an even more convenient way to do it, while also customizing other parts of your home screen as well. So to do this, press and hold your finger on a blank spot on the home screen like this. And as you can see, we got several different options here. You can personalize the theme, change your wallpaper, add and remove widgets, and change your general home screen settings. So again, in case you missed it, press and hold your finger anywhere on the home screen as long as it's a blank spot. So like this, and there we go. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to change your screen lock. As you can see right now, my screen lock is actually a pin, but I also have the fingerprint scanner on. So I'm going to show you how to set all of this up. So first things first, we're going to go to Settings. From here, go to Security. And from this menu, go to Screen Lock. Put in your current PIN, and from this menu, you can choose between None, Swipe, Pattern, PIN, or Password. Keep in mind, None and Swipe are pretty much the same thing, and this is no security at all. After that, we got Pattern, which is basically a really old-fashioned classic Android kind of thing. I personally think it's pretty cool, but as far as actually being secure goes, I do think the PIN and the password are a little better. Then we got PIN, which is pretty much the industry standard. I want to say most Android users use the PIN nowadays. And then if you want real high security, you can use a password. Now, like I said before, I do have my fingerprint scanner on, and I'm going to show you how to set that up right now. So what you're going to want to do is go back to the security menu. From here, go to fingerprint. This is the fingerprint menu. To add a fingerprint, simply hit add fingerprint and follow the on-screen instructions. It's pretty simple. And once you have a fingerprint added, the fingerprint scanner will automatically turn on. Now, if we go back to the main security menu, you're going to see the face unlock option as well. And this works pretty much the same way, but with face unlock, you can only register one face, whereas with the fingerprint scanner, you can register multiple fingers. Again, with face unlock, it's going to work pretty much the same way. Once you follow the on-screen instructions to set it up, it's automatically going to activate so you can use it to unlock your phone. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to change your system navigation. So as you can see down here, we got the typical 3-button navigation that lots of Android phones nowadays have. But I'm going to show you how to use a different type of navigation called gesture navigation. So to get to this, we're going to go to settings. From here, go to system. And from here, go to gestures. And system navigation is right here. So as you can see, again, we're currently in 3-button navigation, but we're going to go to gesture navigation. And as you can see, the 3 buttons at the bottom were replaced with 1 line. Now, in case you've never used this before, let me show you how it works. To go home, swipe up like this. To go to your recent apps, drag your finger up from the bottom. And to go back, swipe from left to right or right to left. So gesture navigation is really cool, and I personally like it a lot because it gives the phone a little bit more of a minimalistic and modern look. But that being said, it's not for everyone because a lot of people end up liking 3-button navigation a little bit better. But if you've never used gesture navigation before, I do recommend giving it a try because who knows, you might like it. At the end of the day, there's really no right or wrong. It's gonna be up to personal preference, so definitely play around with both of them and see which one you like the best. Now, the next thing I'm gonna show you is how to change your screen timeout time. Now, if you're ever in a situation where you're doing something on your phone, like watching a video, for example, and your phone falls asleep on you in the middle of it, this can be super annoying, so I'm going to show you how to avoid this. What we're going to do is go to settings. From here, go to display. And from here, go to screen timeout. As you can see, mine is set to the longest setting of 30 minutes, but you can have it set to as short as 15 seconds. In fact, I think by default it is going to be 15 seconds, but depending on what you're doing with your phone, you can play around with these settings and find the one that works best for you. Now, of course, you might actually find that 30 minutes is a little bit too long because with a longer screen timeout time, if you forget to lock your phone, then it's going to stay on for a lot longer and that could drain your battery. So if you're not doing a whole lot of content consumption or anything like that, you might actually want it to be a little bit shorter. But again, if you are doing something like reading, watching videos, looking at photos, or even playing a game, having a longer screen timeout time could definitely be a good thing. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to use dark mode. This is a real popular feature and I personally think it looks pretty cool. So to get to it, we're going to go to settings. From here, go to display. And dark mode is right under appearance. Toggle this on. And as you can see, we are now in dark mode, and that's pretty much all there is to it. It's definitely not a very complicated feature, but one cool thing you can do with dark mode is schedule it to turn on and off automatically. So to do this, tap on dark theme, and as you can see, you can schedule it. So if we hit schedule, you can have it turn on from sunset to sunrise or a custom time. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to take a screenshot. Now, this is a real easy thing to do, but if you're new to Android or smartphones in general, it might be a little tricky. So with the Motorola Moto G 5G, to take a screenshot, all you need to do is press the power key and the volume down key at the same time. You don't need to press and hold, just press the buttons at the same time like this. And as you can see, here's the screenshot. You can share, edit, delete, whatever you want to do. And that's pretty much it. It's going to be saved right to your photos. Now, the last thing I'm going to show you is actually a real similar feature, and that's how to create a screen recording. This is pretty much just as easy as taking a screenshot, but you have to go to a slightly different spot. So what you're going to want to do is pull down the shade once, twice, scroll to the next page, and tap on the button that says Screen Record Start. It's going to ask if you want to start recording, hit start. And now, as you can see, there's a little countdown, and we are recording right now. With this menu, you can do several different things. You can draw on the screen, use the microphone to narrate, and even record yourself. So there's me right there. If you want to pause it, you can hit the pause button. And when you want to resume, hit it one more time. And when you're done and want to stop the recording, hit the stop button right here. And that's pretty much it. Once you hit stop, it's going to be saved right to your photos. But this was my beginner's guide for the Motorola Moto G 5G. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you found this information useful as well. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. And if you want to learn more about this phone, be sure to check out my full review of it on the channel. And again, for the latest up-to-date pricing, be sure to check out the link in the video description because this is always changing. But that's it for this video. As always, I will see you in the next one.